In the bustling city of Lagos, amidst the honking cars and crowded markets, lived a boy named Nnamdi. After his mother passed away when he was just 6 years old, his father, a taxi driver, remarried. His new wife, Adanma, was not the loving mother Nnamdi had hoped for. She was cold, harsh, and treated him very bad. While her own children wore the latest clothes and attended good schools, Nnamdi was left to wear rags and run errands all day long. Adanma's cruelty knew no bounds. Every morning, before Nnamdi left for school, he was forced to clean the house, wash the dishes, and even take care of his step-siblings. Despite his efforts, Adanma would always complain, finding fault with everything he did. She denied him and only gave him food in the night but very limited quantity. Nnamdi had to scrounge for something to eat on the streets. His school performance suffered because he was always exhausted, and his classmates often mocked him for his tattered clothes. Yet, Nnamdi was determined to keep going. There was one person who kept his spirits high, Mama Nkechi, an elderly woman who owned a small kiosk in the neighborhood. Whenever Nnamdi passed by her kiosk, she would call him over, give him a warm meal, and offer words of encouragement.
Nnamdi, my child,
she would say,
life in the city is tough, but you have the heart of a lion. Never forget that.
One day, tragedy struck. Nnamdi's father was involved in a fatal accident while working his taxi shift. The city's busy roads had claimed yet another life. Without his father to protect him, Adanma's treatment of Nnamdi grew worse. She stopped paying his school fees and threw him out of the house. Homeless, Nnamdi wandered the city streets, surviving by doing odd jobs, carrying goods for market women, washing cars, and even shining shoes. One evening, while Nnamdi sat on a bench in a park, tired and hungry, an old man dressed in a long flowing robe approached him. The man's eyes seemed to pierce through the chaos of the city, seeing straight into Nnamdi's soul. He introduced himself as Baba Ade, a wise sage who had lived in the city for many years. I have watched you, young man, Baba Ade said. Though the streets are unkind, you have not lost your humanity. Nnamdi looked down at his worn-out shoes and sighed.
I have no home, no family. How can I continue like this?
Baba Ade handed Nnamdi a small, shining coin. This coin is not like any other. It represents your inner strength and the promise of your future. Keep it with you, and let it remind you that no matter how dark things seem, there is light ahead. But remember, your heart must remain kind, no matter how wealthy you become. With that, the old man disappeared into the crowd, leaving Nnamdi holding the coin tightly in his hand. Over the next few years, Nnamdi worked relentlessly. He saved every naira he earned from his street jobs and eventually started selling small electronics at a roadside store. With each passing year, his business grew. He moved from selling on the street to owning a small shop, then several shops, and finally a thriving electronics company that supplied goods all over Lagos. By the time Nnamdi was in his late 20s, he had become one of the wealthiest young entrepreneurs in the city. He owned properties, had employees under him, and was respected by many. But despite his success, he never forgot his past. He always carried the coin Baba Ade had given him, a reminder of his journey and the wisdom of kindness. One day, as he drove through his old neighborhood in a luxury car, memories of his difficult childhood flooded his mind. He saw the familiar streets, the bustling markets, and the places where he once struggled. Then, he spotted a frail, elderly woman sitting by her kiosk. It was Mama Nkechi, the only person who had shown him kindness when he had nothing. Nnamdi stopped the car and walked over to her. She recognized him immediately, her face lighting up with joy.
Nnamdi, look at you. You've grown into a fine man.
He embraced her warmly.
Mama Nkechi, you took care of me when no one else did. Now it's my turn to take care of you.
Nnamdi bought her a beautiful new house and made sure she never had to work at her kiosk again. He also set up a foundation to help street children, ensuring that no one else would have to suffer the way he once did. As for Adanma, she had fallen on hard times. Her children had abandoned her, and she struggled to make ends meet. When she learned of Nnamdi's success, she came to him, begging for forgiveness. Though the wounds of the past still stung, Nnamdi remembered Baba Ade's words about keeping his heart kind. He forgave and gave her an apartment in his house to live. Nnamdi took it upon himself to always provide for Adanma whatever her needs are, but still very conscious and careful of the kind of woman his stepmother is. Adanma on her side was showing an outward appreciation towards Nnamdi's kindness and generosity, but deep down her heart, she was planning on how to kill Nnamdi and take over his wealth. One day, Nnamdi went to his shop as usual, and when he came back in the evening, very tired and hungry, Adanma presented a well-prepared delicacy of jollof rice to Nnamdi, but unknown to her that Nnamdi installed CCTV camera all over his house and he monitors what goes around his house from his phone wherever he is. On his way home, he bought food from an eatery and went straight to his room and watched the strange thing from his CCTV again and was shocked of how far his stepmother could go to hurt him. Still lost in what he just saw, he heard his stepmother knocking on his room door, calling him to come and eat.
I will be right there shortly, mother,
Nnamdi said. When he got to the dining table and saw a well-garnished jollof rice his stepmother prepared for him, he expressed his appreciation to her and said,
Mother, thank you so much for taking your time to make this special meal for me. It shows that you are a changed person now. But I have a request to make, mother. Can we eat together as mother and son, mother? I really want this motherly love to be complete, please.
Nnamdi, my son, I have eaten my own food. This one is for you alone,
Adanma said. Nnamdi insisted, but Adanma refused to eat the food with Nnamdi, which made Nnamdi to ask her if there was something she was hiding. After a while, Nnamdi went to his room and came back with a flash drive which he inserted into the television, and the video of how Adanma prepared the food and put poison into it started playing. At this point, Adanma was glued to the chair she was sitting, shaking and pleading for forgiveness because her evil is exposed, but it was very late for her. Nnamdi sent her away from his house because allowing her to remain might expose his life more to unknown dangers. And so, Nnamdi's story became legend in the city, a tale of rising from nothing and staying true to one's heart, no matter the obstacles. His name was spoken with admiration, not just for his wealth, but for his compassion and generosity. Moral lesson. 1. True success is not measured by wealth alone, but by the compassion you show to others, especially those who were kind to you when you had nothing. 2. No matter how difficult life gets, kindness and resilience will guide you through adversity. Always remember where you come from, and let your success uplift those who helped you in your struggles. 3. Wealth should not change the heart, but enrich it with compassion for others. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel for more educative stories. God bless you.